then they'll do it and you won't have to touch that. Congratulations. Congrats. I'm well. How are you? Congrats, Coach. We'll get started now. The 10th seed Loyola Marymount, a 67-64 winner over 7th seed Portland. The Lions advance to the West Coast Conference quarterfinals. They will face 2nd seed BYU on Saturday afternoon. We're joined by head coach Max Good, along with Anthony Ireland and Evan Payne. Coach, as usual, we will start with you, please. If we could give us an opening statement, your thoughts on the win.
I really want to turn it over to these guys, these players. I mean, it's unbelievable. We're down 13, but I'm getting ready to start talking. I don't want to do that. Please talk to these guys right now.
We'll take questions.
I'll catch up.
We'll take questions from media members. If you have a question, please raise your hand and we'll get you a microphone. And we'll start with questions for the student athletes, please. We'll start with Amanda in the front.
Anthony, what are your thoughts on the game?
Man, well, honestly, I feel like, I liked our chances coming out here because, we've been in this position before. We had a great week of practice. We battled in practice, and, we had a goal coming down here, just like last year. Our saying was we're losing, but we're not losers. I feel like that's carried over to this year, this tournament, and, I like our chances.
After the year you guys have had with so many injuries and playing with, 7 guys a lot of the year, how gratifying is it to get this first game and still be alive in the tournament? I
mean, it's beautiful. There's not a feeling like it. And, like I said before, like Coach said, we're down a lot of guys. And, I like our chances coming out here. And, it's a clean slate when you come to Vegas. It's a fresh start. And, that's what I tried to instill in our guys' minds. And, say nobody won a game yet, nobody's lost a game yet, so that's what we came out and did tonight.
Evan, your first tournament. What are your thoughts after this first game?
For me, it's just really a blessing, to be out here and everything, considering, having an injury at the beginning of the season, and, with the injuries that have been going on in our program and everything, I'm just, blessed to be able to play, contribute to the team and everything. Playing out here is really, completely different from high school and everything. So, I mean, with that, Anthony stays on me for, being poised and everything and, just staying focused because every play counts. So that's what I try to do today.
You guys were down 13 at one point in that second half. What does it say about your team, and how were you able to come back from that and take this game? I
mean, really, adrenaline starts pumping because we don't want to lose. So there's no pressure on us. We just started trapping, playing full. At the beginning of the season, we played a lot of man. And, towards the end, the middle, when we started losing a lot of players, we had to go, a lot of zone and everything. So it was fun to start playing man again, get up in them, start trapping and getting steals.
Other questions for student athletes or Coach Good? Yes, sir, in the front.
Coach Good, you decided to put Alex Osborne back in the game with 4 fouls, around 7 minutes left. What was the thought process there?
Well, he's a senior, and his 4th foul was foolish. The 5th one I didn't think was as bad, but, he's really done such a beautiful job down the stretch rebounding for us. He hasn't scored the ball extremely well, but we needed some. To me, Portland's got maybe not the best 2 bigs in the league, but collectively, I mean, they've got 4 or 5 bigs. I mean, bigs. We finished the game with a 4-man at the 5, a 3-man at the 4, and 3 guards. And, I don't know what else you say other than, hey, we thought Alex didn't have one of his better games, but I'll tell you right now, his previous 2 or 3 games, he's been a real man on the backboards. And he didn't get as many chances to rebound tonight because we were monstering in the post. We were going big double, and they were throwing out. And of course, with a kid like Sharp, you're picking your poison. What was he, 6 of 9 threes? But, that's what good players do.
Is there anything that you've been employing or doing things as coaches, playing shorthanded specifically for your team to kind of
Well, we just got to play more intelligently. We say your brain has to tell your feet where to be, and you got to remove your hands from the equation. I thought 2 or 3 real key plays. Obviously, Anthony didn't have one of his better games. He's 4 for 16. I'll still take him 8 days a week. On his bad game, he helped us win. I mean, he's tremendous. don't get me started on him. But then Evan got the steal and then the dunk. That kind of electrified us and fueled us. And then Gabe Levin had just made a typical freshman play. Wasn't his best play. But then he took a huge charge. I mean, he took a huge charge that gave us a chance. And all we wanted was a chance at the very end. And I kept telling referee said, get a seatbelt on him. I told my assistants, and I kept telling them they got to get relaxed. That you guys got to relax. Well, they were fine. I was the one that wasn't relaxed. But I guess I was, I was telling myself at the same time. But I do think we had great days in practice. And Ann has done an unbelievable job with Evan, because Evan is buku talented. Buku talented, but Evan tends to, the sky is falling. If he makes a bad play, or if he misses a shot, or if his man scores, and Ant stays on him and stays on him and stays on him. And I mean, Evan was huge tonight. I mean, when he really learns how to play, the sky's the limit for him.
Anthony, did it ever go in your head in the second half when you guys are down by 12 points that this might be my final game?
No. I knew, we didn't make our run, so I knew that was going to eventually happen. And, they came out and, they hit us first, and, it took us a while to respond. But I feel like, in the first half, the same thing happened. They got up big on us, and then the second half, the same thing happened. So then, Saturday, we just got to, figure out a way to fix that.
It's funny. We start out tentatively because we don't want to foul, and then we get ourselves behind, and then we start really digging in. I mean, we had to dig in early tonight. We couldn't wait till the 3-minute mark. We had to dig in at about the 12-minute mark, the first half, and we were full court pressing. And I'm not sure we would have done that had we, under the old format, where we'd had to play again tomorrow night. But, we got a day of not off because we'll spend a tremendous amount of time watching film and getting ready for BYU. But we had to go ahead and try to get after them really aggressively defense, which is the way we want to play. I hate playing defensive defense. I like to play offensive defense and offensive offense. But
we got time for about 2 more over here in the back.
Looking to Saturday, you guys played BYU early on in the season, so this will be a time that you haven't seen them in a while. What do you think you need to do to prepare to meet BYU and to beat BYU on Saturday?
I think we need to get 4 back like we did in the first game. We worked on the whole week. Nobody had did that to them because they were a good fast-breaking team, like number 1 in the country or number 2 or something like that. So we did like the 4 back the first game. And the second game we were in, I think it was like 54-54. It was like tied, with like
58-58, but that's okay. You're close enough.
It's close. 58-58 with like 5 or 6 minutes to go. So we just need to get 4 back, and just play poise and run with them and everything. I think we'll do a good job.
Coach, BYU plays a fast-paced game. They plan on playing in the 80s, and this game was in the 60s. What do you think that your team needs to do to beat that pace?
BYU's not the quickest team in the country, but they're one of the fastest. There's a difference between quick and fast. I mean, north-south, they run like a herd of thundering horses. I mean, they play downhill. But they're not extremely quick, east-west, but they are really fast, and they are really well coached, and I love their staff. I mean, I really like their people. David Rose and Tim Lacombe are guys. I think they're 2 of the classiest guys in the business. And but they're good. They do play fast, and they don't get deterred, and they keep their poise. They got off to a little bit of a rough start this year, but they've obviously, they've regrouped, obviously. We haven't played them for so long. The strange quirk in the schedule, we played them, I think, twice in the first 6 games. We haven't seen them since way early in the year.
Last question here in the front.
Coach Good, you didn't want to talk at the beginning, but how proud are you of these guys for this game?
I can't begin to tell you, to be honest. I mean, these guys pick me up every day. And I apologize for this, but I don't care. I come to practice every day, and they pick my ass up. I hate the day off. I can't wait to get in the gym to see these guys every day. They grind, and they grind, and they grind, and they grind. And I jumped on Nick Stover unmercifully tonight, and he stuck it right up my behind. He hit a bucket and a couple of free throws and hit another one, and I loved that. I jumped Anthony for throwing him the ball. And Nick heard that. I mean, how do you think that makes Nick feel? And he came right back. He said, I'll show you, you old SOB. And he showed me. And in the process showed Portland. But I can't even begin to tell you how much it means to be around these guys. They keep you old as hell and young as hell at the same time.
All right, LMU, thank you very much. Congratulations. We'll see you Saturday.
Thank you.
Nice job. Congrats. Yes. Yeah, I got it. Thank you. Hi. Actually, that's it. It's just one page. Yeah. We're being joined now by the Portland Pilots and head coach Eric Reveneau, along with student-athlete Thomas Vandermars. Coach, we'll begin with you. And an opening statement, please.
As I told the guys, I wasn't prepared to give an end-of-year talk. You know, a disappointing game. Credit to Loyola Marymount for their performance. They made plays in the second half. They just scrapped, and they did a nice job. For us to turn it over 12 times in the second half and shoot 41% from the free throw line. I think we're 1 for 6 the last 8 minutes from free throw line is tough. You know, the guys are really upset, and you know, we have fought and scrapped and had our good moments and some frustrating moments this year. But I'm proud of their effort, and we almost found a way to figure it out, but we're unable to.
If you have a question for Thomas or for Coach Reveneau, please raise your hand. We'll get you a microphone.
Two of your guards were out for this game. Did that hurt? Obviously, it hurt you guys a little bit, but was there a game plan around that to kind of counter that, kind of go inside a little more without Bailey scoring?
Yeah, no, we knew that Loyola Marymount would sort of throw the kitchen sink at us in terms of trying a 1-3-1, trying a 1-2-2, playing man, pressuring us. When they realized that pressuring us was what was working, we had trouble sort of settling down. They did a good job of making our bigs attack the press breaker and denying our guards. And Alec and Kevin are really good. Were really good at getting open, and they were really good at getting to the line and really good at doing some things. When we played well and things were clicking, that was our plan B, because we're already on plan B. So, in answer your question, yeah, we prepared and we're on plan B. Plan A included Alec Wintering and Kevin Bailey, and we worked on that since our foreign tour. And I'm proud of the guys in terms of how they adjusted, and we prepared for this game. Our plan C, without them, when a team like Loyola Marymount did a good job of getting us out of sorts, we didn't have the ability to adjust very well, and so give them credit.
Nicholas finishes the double-double, finishes his career at Portland. Can you just comment on what he's meant to the program?
Yeah, he's been tremendous. I think if there was a all-conference award for body of work, I thought 4 years and his numbers, and going to go down in the Portland record books for one of the biggest contributors ever. Tremendous leader, tremendous heart. Just phenomenal, Mr. Double-Double. It's appropriate he finished with a double-double tonight. He's kicking himself in there for a few errors, but he's got a lot to be proud of in his career. He's one of those guys that gets a double-double and you don't even notice sometimes. I'm sure we're going to miss him.
Amanda in the front.
Thomas, what are your thoughts on the game?
It was obviously a tough game. They did a really good job of mixing it up and giving us different looks, especially from a post perspective. It was really tough, and they forced some turnovers. We could have definitely shot the ball better and taken care of the ball better, and it's just a tough game, yeah.